Hey guys, it's Colton here. Today we finally got them. I was able to find them. 4, 5, and 6 of the Oden set, Matsuno Brothers. I already have the actual Oden set with Chibita, and right on the back, there they are advertised. So we got 3 of them here. Osomatsu and Karamatsu I could have gotten, but Choromatsu was not available. So I held off on buying them and just got these guys for the time being so that I could segment the videos into 2 parts like I did with these guys. And we'll just fill in today when we show them all displayed at the end with these guys, but they should be pretty close to scale, I think. We'll definitely take a look. Obviously, we've got Ichimatsu, Jyushi, and Todomatsu, brothers 4 through 6, my favorite brothers in the lineup. And so yeah, we'll look at each of the brothers closely, get them out of the bags, and I'll give you my thoughts on them. So here we have the box for Ichimatsu. On the side here, you have all 6 of the Matsuno brothers shown off to complete the collection, and then down in the corner here, again, you can see Chibita's Oden shop. Another picture of Ichimatsu. So yeah, got Jyushimatsu here. On this side, it's gonna show him on the bench there, the safety warnings again. And then on the bottom of these guys, they've got some more information. Of course, there's Todomatsu. Yep, looking cute. So we'll get them open up and then take a look at the figures. Okay, so we have the 3 brothers out of the boxes, out of their individual bags, and set up now, and these guys are super cute. I mean, honestly, the designs are really nice. I will say that some of the quality control we'll get to in a minute, it's pretty not great for Banpresto. I don't know if it's just because they are smaller pieces, obviously. Some details, obviously, always in the character, and they're here too. We got Ichimatsu's 3D bumpy hair. Got Todomatsu wearing a beanie, which it's pink. Usually it's brown in the show and in other figures. It's a brown, grayish beanie. Yeah, besides that, Jyushimatsu's got the actual Oden in his hand. He's got that, and then he's got a drink he's throwing back. Again, this is, I might as well go over the quality control real quick because this is a brand new figure out of the bag. I opened the bag fresh, and yeah, you can see, I don't know if that's the actual material used. It looks like it's pitted, sort of, or holes in it. And then right on Jyushimatsu's back, he's got a weird growth right there. I could probably sand that down, but I don't know if it's top finished any special. I don't want to hurt it, you know, the figure, pretty much. It looks like there's a weird globular surrounding it too, so maybe it was something they had to fix later. I don't know. But like I said, this is a brand new figure. This wasn't damaged by anybody, anything like that. I opened it myself just right now. So Ichimatsu, he's looking great, really. I do love, he probably looks the best out of all 3 of these guys. I love the open jacket look, and then the expression's really great on him. Captures the character well. But yeah, again, I mean, Jyushimatsu's is perfect too. Looks like even there, yeah, a little bit of a black something on his upper lip. I don't know why he's so messy, just overall. But yeah, it's a good Jyushimatsu figure. It's just not a great example of the figure itself. Todomatsu, again, I mean, yeah, look at that. He has some weird stuff going on with his paint application. Then his hair and into the hat. It's not great. The actual figures themselves are great, you know. They're not super small, not much smaller. I imagine they're about the same size as the other ones, the body swap figures. We can compare real quick, just for comparison's sake. Here's Chibita next to them, and he's looking about in scale. I will say that if they were standing up and he didn't have the box, obviously, it'd probably be pretty accurate, but I think Chibita might be a little bit smaller even still in real life. Not much you can do except for blow these guys up a little bit, because making him any smaller wouldn't be good in my opinion. He's already a pretty small figure, and they're using this soft rubber for certain parts so it doesn't hold the shape well on him. And he was, again, these are brand new. It's just that they have to take some things into consideration when they're selling products to people that could pass them on to children. If the children hurt themselves, it could be bad for them. It's understandable. We've had these a lot of safety measures in the United States since the 70s, obviously, because of the Battlestar Galactica toys. Led into rocket firing Boba Fett not having the rocket, and then so many things afterwards. We got that. I think it's still like that paper towel tube test is how they determine whether or not it's a toy is safe, because if it can pass through that, it'll pass through a child's trachea. But can't be 100% sure. He is not passing through a child's trachea. He's still too big, but it's because of all these awkward shapes. I think if he was dosed to him, he probably could. Getting the actual Oden set out and taking a look at it, because this isn't the focus of the video. We'll probably do a whole review with Chibita in the next video, actually, where we look at Osomatsu, Karamatsu, and Choromatsu. But just for the sake of showing off what it could look like, and the great thing is the Oden set comes with benches, so you don't have to use the individual seats that come with the sets if you don't want to. And yeah, you can see right there, I mean, geez, that is beautiful. Let's get Osomatsu, Karamatsu, and Choromatsu out just for size and scale comparison, and we'll do a couple of different angles so you can really get a sense of how they scale up with each other if you're not able to find the first three, or vice versa. It is an alternate option to be able to display these guys, and if you have any of the other alternate bodies that these body swap figures released with, then it's even better because it can feel real natural. Obviously, the biggest problem becomes then if you're a stickler for the details in the show. Usually the six brothers are wearing the exact same clothes, all of them, even if, like I said, Ichimatsu's is unzipped and Todomatsu's got a cap, they're still wearing the same jackets, everything like that. So it's, and you know, Jyushi, of course, is wearing shorts because that's what Jyushi always does. So we'll get them out, and then, yeah, like I said, kind of compare a little bit more and see. We'll compare, measure, of course, classic, and then get out of here for the day, because this doesn't have to be a long form video at all. It's just really, like I said, this is the first half. We're going to look at the other three whenever I'm able to pick them up or find them. I may as well, while they're available, buy Osomatsu and Karamatsu. It's just not having Choromatsu. It feels pointless making a video without all three of them to cap it off. So yeah, we'll just do some comparisons real quick. So yeah, from this angle now you can see the three brothers in the back standing behind their three younger brothers. One problem with the body swap figures is they come with the classic Banpresto WCF stands, so they actually do stand probably a 1/4 inch taller than their other brothers would be sitting off the ground with their feet touching. What I mean by that is, you can see here pretty clearly, Osomatsu's got a stand that does raise him off the ground. But in terms of the actual profile, looking at these guys all next to each other, they do look amazing. They do fit really well together. I will say that the biggest downside is obviously just the fact that these guys are standing so straight that you don't get much of a dynamic pose with these guys, but you could position them around the actual Oden set itself to make it a little bit more unique, and I'll show you what I mean by that. See, so now we have Ichimatsu for display purposes. I mean, Ichimatsu is staring off at Choromatsu here because of the way that his head is naturally positioned, while Karamatsu and Osomatsu are having a conversation in the back. As I framed it, obviously, if you change the angles on this, it'll look good from pretty much any angle, because these are really great character designs, really strong, really representative of what they are in the show. Even though Osomatsu through Todomatsu all share a character design. Because these guys have such a strong silhouette, they're very easily identifiable, even with their sameness. It's the posing that makes them unique, and it really allows you to get a sense of who they are before they even start talking. With the figures here, like I said, you get a much better sense of it with these guys who are put into poses as opposed to these guys who are doing a natural standing position. But that isn't to, again, discredit Banpresto's amazing work at bringing these characters to life in 3D, because I would say of any of them, the worst is the unique figure, the Chibita, and from like an upwards angle it looks great, but most of the time you see him like this because he's on a shelf and he's just so small. It's not great. Straight on, above, it looks great. His head is too long. It's too long. It needs to be squished down a little bit. But besides that, it is Chibita, and he is a 3D figure, and that's better than I can say about Ayami or Dekapan or Totoko, anyone else in the show, you know? So give me a Dion figure, you know? I think that the construction is just really great in general. The quality control is the biggest problem, again, with the paint job and everything like that. But you look at Ichimatsu, and he's a perfect example. Jyushi had some problems with the mold. Like I said, it seems like some like it spilled out of the mold or something like that, or it peaked. And then, let me see here. Yeah, you can see around it, there's like a globular or something. I don't know if that's paint or like a sealant or what, but that's really the only problem with Jushimatsu besides the upper lip, like I said, and I could probably get that off even. I couldn't with my finger wiping at it, but besides that, general construction is great, like I said, but because they're solid figures still. End of the day, it's just they have some problem like pitting. Like, I don't understand. I haven't seen that on any other Banpresto figure that I've owned, even at this scale. There's a lot of just little stuff that you'd think they'd pick up on or see, but maybe these guys were rushed out a little bit more because I've had trouble finding them actually for a minute now. I haven't seen them in the 2 or 3 months that I've known they've existed. So because I got Chibita sealed for about $20, and then I found out my other WCF figures, the ones with the brown hair that are taller than these guys, weren't in scale. You needed the other figures that were displayed on the box, and they were not available anywhere. And so obviously I wanted to complete the set. I don't have the complete set yet because I need to get the first 3 brothers, but we're in the right direction, and I'm happy with how brothers 4, 5, and 6 look. Actually, like I said, can't really beat that quality. That is Ichimatsu pulled straight out of the show. We'll do some measurements and then we can get out of here for the day because, like I said, I really just wanted to look at these guys while I got them. My older brother got these for me for Christmas, actually. He asked me what I had wanted, and these guys, I just had found them finally. So, you know, I got all 3 of them for pretty great price. I was happy with it. So I'm not ever going to pay eBay America prices for any of my Osomatsu San or Osomatsu-kun merchandise because I'm in contact with some really great people in Japan that have been able to point me in the right direction and help me out with finding what I've been looking for. Okay, so these guys are gonna be standing at about 2¼ inches tall, almost 2.5. It's just very, very short, slightly short. Ichimatsu may give the illusion that he is shorter, but he's actually leaning forward slightly, while Jushimatsu is leaning slightly back. So that's where that you might be getting a little bit of distortion, but if you actually look from above, you can see where they lean. So yeah, these guys are really great. I would recommend them. Let me focus, Jesus. I would recommend them if you're looking to get any Osomatsu San figures. In particular, you know, like I said, they're kind of harder to find, so if you can't find them at a good price, I would avoid it completely. There are a lot of options that you have, obviously. I think that I've shown off a pretty good amount already. If you guys are interested in seeing more, let me know, because I have been loving making videos on these guys, and yep, I just enjoy it so much. Osomatsu San is probably my favorite anime of all time. You know, I grew up with the classic, you know, OG Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and stuff like that. Just like any kid in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then, you know, thinking about it, my favorite stuff has always been like Lupin the Third and just the stuff that I grew up watching, like Inuyasha. And then, yeah, you know, really going off on a tangent, but I think that the reason why I love Osomatsu San so much is because it reminds me of the best of both anime and cartoons that I grew up as a kid with, because it reminds me of, obviously, I think that, you know, there's a lot of the high energy, high octane action that you get with Osomatsu San that is very anime inspired, but then at its heart, the core, the goofiness, the characters, everything, it reminds me so much of Ed, Edd n Eddy, which is my favorite cartoon of all time. I have some copies of character sheets from AKA Studios. They're not originals by any means, but I had won them through some eBay auctions, and because I just love Ed, Edd n Eddy so much. That was my cartoon as a kid. That was my generation's Looney Tunes, really. If you ask anybody, that is a childhood-defining cartoon, Ed, Edd n Eddy. And I feel very similar about Osomatsu San, because I think it's got a strong premise, really great writing and characters, and the setting and the animation style is just so appealing to so many people that I think that it hasn't ever gotten the love that it fully deserves, Osomatsu San, even though it's wildly popular in Japan. Like most popular series in Japan, they never really catch on in the West. You look at Chibi Maruko-chan or Shin-chan, which had it had the Funimation dub in the United States, Shin-chan did, but then it's like, but yeah, these really popular Japanese shows just tend not to ever get picked up because they run for so long. They have hundreds of episodes. In the case of Shin-chan and Chibi Maruko-chan, you have 1,500 plus episodes in both series. I think Shin-chan's got like 1,100 episodes, but that's my point, where it's just all like, you're not gonna find the time or the people that are gonna be able to localize that anymore, sadly. You have to do what Funimation did, where they kind of remade the show and edited clips together to make, you know, from different episodes to make a coherent story with what they had redubbed. You know, that's all you can do. With the Osomatsu San dub, obviously, it's one way or another, whether or not you like it or not. I think I'm kind of split down the middle. I think there's a lot of really talented people in the dub cast, but in general, I stick to sub when it comes to Osomatsu San. Going back and rewatching anything, because the language, like, the conversations feel more natural, and the references to the culture make more sense. They can reference actual pop culture characters and celebrities and ideas and not have to censor like they do in the dub. And so there's a million reasons why I prefer sub over dub, especially for something like Osomatsu San. At the end of the day, these guys are really great adaptations of the characters from the screen. Probably some of the best that I've seen, especially at this scale. Enski, I know, makes some really cool little pool floating figures that I've seen, and they have amazing facial details that are on par with these guys, and so I'm gonna try and pick them up too and take a look at them. But obviously, until then, until we're able to really figure out what the next video is going to be, like I said, I have some long form stuff I'm working on, still just editing it down. We're going to be looking at more Osomatsu San figures and maybe do some just other fun stuff. Like I said, the last video, little kitty video, was just a random thing, so just depends on how I'm feeling that day, I suppose. But I hope you guys have a great day.